Right, and we are back for our second conversation for this morning. Quite an interesting and insightful conversation we are about to have. And we have first, let me introduce Mr. Selwyn Fuller, who's a Deputy Auditor General at the Auditor General Office of the Auditor General, as well as Ms. Maria Rodriguez, who is also a Deputy Auditor General at the Office of the Auditor General. And we have also some special invited guests, Mr. Luis Fernando Vasquez Leal, who is a Director at Citizen Action Colombia, and Mr. Andres Navia, who is a consultant and for this morning as well, a translator at the Citizen Action Colombia. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we want to start the conversation by first getting some information. Well, first let me ask for a brief overview of the roles and responsibilities for those who may not be aware of the Office of the Auditor General. Will you take it? Will you give it to Mr. Selwyn?
Good morning, Belize. The roles of the Office of the Auditor General. We are here to ensure or do our best for accountability, to ensure that the government revenues and expenditures are actually spent on what they are supposed to be spent on. Saying it in a nutshell.
I mean that's a huge responsibility. Though you could define it in a nutshell, it speaks to a lot of things. All right, Ms. Maria. Well, let's get into the whole idea of a citizen partnership project. I would imagine it speaks to how citizens can participate in this process of accountability.
Indeed. We are part of a regional project with OLACEVs, who are the Latin and Caribbean organization for all audit authority offices in the region. And we accepted gladly the invitation because we have always wanted to get our citizens involved in accountability and transparency. And this is one way of getting them involved. So our consultants here from Action Colombia are going to headline some workshops for us countrywide. And so we're here to invite the public to join us, to bring their concerns about accountability or non-accountability for that matter. And so it is important to hear from them. And all sectors of of Belize should come in. We're talking about agriculture, tourism, small enterprises. They should all come to say what is happening so that we can give them an opportunity and have a voice to be able to say, listen, I go to these government services and this is what is happening. In fact, I don't know what is happening. Can you help us find out what is happening? AC Colombia will do that link between the citizens and the Office of the Auditor General.
What is the overall takeaway for either persons who are participating or persons who are interested to know what is going on with this particular movement?
Right.
Okay, ¿qué es lo que ven los ciudadanos? O sea, ¿cuál va a ser el beneficio de los ciudadanos de participar en este movimiento?
Muy bien.
En este proyecto.
Bien, muchas gracias por la invitación.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Fundamentalmente, el beneficio de los ciudadanos es que pueden involucrarse en los temas públicos. Tradicionalmente los ciudadanos creemos que es el gobierno y que son las instituciones quienes tienen la responsabilidad de sacar el país adelante y resolver todos los problemas.
Okay, so yeah, this is a very important question. Citizens tend to believe that it's the government that is responsible for dealing with all public affairs. And the big added value of this project is that it's the citizens' responsibility to make sure that governmental affairs are managed properly.
Y ahí hay un problema porque todos los ciudadanos tienen algo que decir frente a su medio ambiente, frente a sus relaciones sociales, frente a sus relaciones con las autoridades, frente a sus relaciones con la comunidad. Y lo que busca...
So it's very important because citizens are, and I'm adding a little bit, citizens are in different locations, in different places, they have different experiences, and their expectations vary according to their needs. They vary according to the government projects in these regions and these locations. So they need to have a voice. They need to be listened to because their needs are specific and different, and the government has no possibility of knowing what citizens want in every single part of the country.
Y lo que busca esta iniciativa es decirle al ciudadano, yo pienso algo, yo tengo una voz, yo puedo participar y puedo decir y contribuir alrededor de un mejor gobierno, una mejor rendición de cuentas, cómo garantizar una mejor transparencia.
And the citizen here has to have a voice, and he said, how can I contribute? How can I have a voice? How can I make, from my own perspective and my own needs, to make the government accountable based on my specific needs? Yes.
Los ciudadanos en nuestras casas manejamos nuestra billetera y el presupuesto de nuestra casa y estamos muy atentos a eso, a no gastar más de lo que tenemos. En el país también sucede lo mismo, o sea, los ciudadanos que aportan con sus impuestos y con su trabajo también tienen la posibilidad de pedir cuentas y mirar cómo funcionan estos temas públicos. Y ahí es lo que queremos mover, o sea, tenemos una voz y queremos ser escuchados.
Yeah, we as regular citizens, we take care of our money, our limited resources. We want to make sure that we don't overspend, and we want citizens to have the same approach with public finances and make sure that money is properly managed, taken care of, because it's our money. We're taxpayers, and we want to make sure that they're taken care of and managed properly.
Are there examples of how a project like this has effected a substantial or significant change within the region?
There is, and I'll let Luis Fernando, who has been working in this regionally in Latin America and the Caribbean, and the whole idea of this initiative is to share these experiences.
Yeah.
And preguntan que quiere ejemplos de cómo esta participación ciudadana ya ha tenido efectos en el cambio de las auditorías y de cómo la participación ya tiene impacto efectivo.
Experiencias de participación ciudadana en el control fiscal surgen en América Latina en 1998, cuando precisamente se desarrolla un trabajo en Colombia. El trabajo que se hizo en Colombia inspiró a muchos países de la región a que los ciudadanos se involucraran en el control de lo público.
Okay, yes, this actually, like Colombia was a pioneer in this process. It started in 1998 when it was somehow institutionalized that citizens would participate in the financial control of government expenditures.
Y
So
oiga,
it's been effective, and it's been used as an example in other countries.
la región ha avanzado mucho, hay avances y retrocesos en algunos lugares porque esta participación también depende mucho de los contextos políticos nacionales, de crisis económica, de crisis social, que realmente ha caracterizado mucho la región. Pero avanza positivamente y hoy el tema de la participación ciudadana en las auditorías y en las entidades de control es un lineamiento de la Organización Internacional de Entidades Fiscalizadoras Superiores, INTOSAE.
Okay, so yeah, this has, of course, there have been setbacks. This citizen participation is also dependent on the political situation or economic situation of each of the countries where it's imposed. So sometimes it goes back, but in general, there's a clear tendency that citizen participation and control in public finances is being stronger and stronger. And we have this international association, INTOSAI, which is actually, it's global, right? Yes. So this institution, this global institution of this authorities, or this conglomeration of auditing authorities.
Supreme audit institution.
Yes,
worldwide.
exactly. They provide technical guidelines, which are getting more and more refined, and they're being applied and shared globally.
Sí. En esta ocasión queremos compartir esa experiencia que ha habido en la región, en América Latina y el Caribe, y apoyar esta iniciativa en el marco de un proyecto financiado por la Agencia Alemana de Cooperación, que lo que busca es fortalecer las capacidades de las instituciones fiscalizadoras superiores. Es decir, como resultado...
So actually to make this effective, and we're currently here, like this project actually, what brought us here to do it is funded by the German International Cooperation agency, GIZ. And so yeah, we're in the process, we're part of this regional initiative that actually Belize makes part of.
Es decir, que lo que estamos haciendo en Belice, hay otras iniciativas en otros países que van a permitir compartir esas experiencias y sacar unos aprendizajes para todos.
So these experiences in Belize, part of this regional project that bring us here, is to get together all these experiences and all this research that we're doing and this forums that we'll do all around the country this week. We'll gather all this information, process it, and we'll share it with all the regional partners that are part of this project.
So, Ms. Maria or Mr. Selwyn, let's get into some of the details in terms of the workshops, when they will take place, and truly how can us as citizens participate? Where do we sign up? How do we get more information?
Right. So the workshop starts tomorrow. We will be in Corozal tomorrow from 9 to 11 o'clock at the Corozal Community College. That's where anybody can show up.
Okay.
It's open. It's an open invitation that we're doing to all citizens. You don't need to register. You don't need to sign up. And then in the afternoon, we will be in Orange Walk at Muffles College. I must issue a thanks to these schools that are giving us space to utilize for our presentations. And then on Wednesday, we head to Dangriga at Ecumenical College. In the morning again, 9 to 11, and in the afternoon it's Punta Gorda at the UB campus from 2:30 to 4:30. And on Thursday we're doing Belize City at the FMSS campus, the University of Belize. And on Wednesday afternoon we will be in Cayo at Sacred Hearts Auditorium.
Mr. Selwyn, who is this training for in terms of the specific individuals we're targeting?
We're targeting all our stakeholders. Who are our stakeholders? Our stakeholders are all Belizean. We audit on behalf of the government for Belizean and for all our stakeholders, in terms of the citizens, in terms of the teachers, in terms of the courts, in terms of parliament, in terms of the entity, the government or the ministries or the department that we are auditing. We want especially our citizens to be able to understand that they play a very important part in our society in terms of the work that we do. It would have so much more meaning and be so much more useful if citizens begin to take part in terms of getting to the reports, understanding what is the role of our office, what is it that we do, and how is it that they can make a difference, can cause a difference. So in terms of this exercise, this is only for a week, but in terms of going on from here, it's for the country to move forward. It's for our office to move forward.
Yeah. In terms of the training, and that's a final question to wrap up, and anybody could take it. How does this training help to bring not only our government officials to account, but also the very office of the Auditor General to account? Because at times there are criticisms as well against the office of the Auditor General in terms of, all right, why are you guys not looking into this? Or why are you guys not looking into that?
Right. This is the perfect opportunity to come and listen to our challenges. We will definitely be able to explain our limitations and our challenges. And most people in the service, in the government service, are aware of our challenges and limitations, but the public aren't.
Yeah.
And government business is always seen as confidential and oh, we're not supposed to share. And this is the forum for them to ask their questions, for them to find out what is happening from our side, the official audit side. And so they are very much welcome to bring their questions, and we will definitely be very open with our limitations and our challenges, and the consultants are expecting that. They're expecting to hear questions about why are things not going in a certain way. So they want to hear it, they want to propose to the citizens some at the end of the workshop they are proposing a final manual that will help us, the office, to be able to communicate with citizens much better.
Okay, and there's an important aspect of this, more than a training, this is an exercise. It's an exercise towards democracy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like open a space so citizens can talk and exchange ideas and think and reach conclusions and know that they can, if you have a choice, because this project is all about choices and making decisions of what is better for us, and every choice has a sacrifice too. So like, and Luis Fernando and I have been working for years in this type of exercise dealing with public safety or education, and it's opening the citizen participation into making decisions, taking responsibility, making sacrifices, but participating and being heard in an organized way and propositive.
Esa es una parte del ejercicio, pero hacia donde nos estamos apuntando es precisamente a poder construir una agenda o unas prioridades ciudadanas que le puedan decir a las instituciones: auditoría, usted tiene que mejorar en esto, educación tiene que mejorar en esto, salud tiene que mejorar en esto, seguridad ciudadana tiene que mejorar esto. O sea, parte de la metodología de trabajo es precisamente escuchar esas voces y definir cuáles son los pasos para mejorar.
Yeah, so this a key aspect is listening to people, let them know what their priorities are, and organize this information and channel it to government institutions and decision makers, and say, hey, we as citizens have agreed or believe that this is the right way for us based on our needs. This is what we need in terms of education, of auditing, of safety. These are our priorities, these are our needs, and this whole exercise actually includes channeling these conclusions and having meetings and with government institutions and citizen leaders and civic leaders and have this information formalized and expressed in a very, very clear way.
Durante esta semana vamos a trabajar esto, que son los talleres con las comunidades, y vamos a abrir un proceso de consulta a través de un portal web donde cualquier ciudadano de Belice, ya sea residente en Belice o por fuera de Belice, pueda incorporar, leer la información y dar sus propuestas. Y nuestro propósito es que en octubre de este año ya podamos decir: esta es la agenda de prioridades ciudadanas para la acción.
Yes, beyond those meetings that we're having all around the countries, anyone, and we actually really encourage all citizens to go to the webpage. It's makingcitizenscount.org, and get in there, read the document. It's actually the same document that we're going to be reading in all the community meetings we're having. Get online, give their opinions. It's a very user-friendly webpage, and this is extremely important because we want to open it beyond this public meetings, and we hope that the greatest amount of citizens that participate in this will be really, really useful. It will broaden the scope of the project greatly.
All right, well, thank you all very much for coming on the show and for having this very important discussion with us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll switch topics a bit to talk about an upcoming event down in St. Bites. You don't want to miss that one, so stay tuned.